Hello everyone, my name is Vic and welcome back to another Kdenlive 2020 tutorial. In today's video, we are going to be talking about GPU rendering. So in Kdenlive, you actually don't use your GPU. So by default, you only use your processor or your CPU, and GPU rendering is unofficially supported. But when Kdenlive 20.08 was released and I was looking through some of the comments here, I noticed that they talked about some video rendering parameters which use the GPU. So what I've done is I've actually summarized these parameters that we're talking about, and we are going to be testing them. And I'll show you how to set these parameters while you're rendering out a video. Before we get started, I just wanted to talk about my system for a second. So I have an Intel i7-3770 processor, and I have a graphics card, an Nvidia 1050 Ti. Now my system is quite old for today's standards, but I'm still able to use my computer to render and edit 4K video, and that's thanks to using proxy clipping and also what I'm going to show you, the GPU rendering, which is going to save us a bit of time. The other thing that we're going to check is Kdenlive. I'm running version 20.08.2. So this is the most recent version at the time of recording. If you're running 20.08 series, this should work for you. So I've opened up an old project here. And in this project, I'm actually using 4K video clips. So I'm editing 4K video clips. And I'm going to be exporting out into 4K 24 frames per second. So it's a pretty simple video, not a lot of heavy transitions, just a few cuts here and there, a few dissolves, a few wipes, and pretty much just overlaying some background music. Very simple, and it's not very long either. So it's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. So that's the benchmark that we're going to be using today. So the first thing that we're going to do is let's render this out using the default CPU render parameters. So when you go to render, you'll probably just have WebM, MP4, MPEG-2, and GIF high quality as the default for the generic profiles. So these are the ones that I've added in, and I'll show you how to add in your own custom one. But for now, we're going to render out to the default MP4. If we click on more options, this is where we can see the render parameters for this particular profile. So let's go ahead and resize some windows for a second here, because I want to show you how the CPU behaves when we render this out. And I'm going to name my file Cafe63 with family CPU so that we can tell the difference between the two files. So I'm starting render. Now note that I do have OBS Studio recording in the background, so that's going to take up some of my CPU, but we'll see what the time looks like here. Now you can see that the CPU is already starting to spin up, so we're already at about 100% utilization for all 4 cores and 8 threads. And what I'll do is I'll probably fast forward so that you're not waiting and watching paint dry with me. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you is that I've opened up my Nvidia X server settings here, and I've clicked on the GPU, and it shows us that we actually have GPU utilization going on, 33%, and there's video engine utilization as well at 21%. Now, I'm not sure exactly where that is coming from. It should be at 0. I'm thinking that it's probably using the GPU for my OBS streaming. That's probably giving us a false indicator there, but that should be 0 in my experience. We're done rendering here. So as you can see, it finished in 10 minutes and 30 seconds. So not bad, but not great for a project that's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. You know, it's a bit of a shame that I have this graphics card and I'm not able to use it. So let's just check the output file. So this was our output file. I'm just going to click on the properties here. So we can see it rendered into 4K dimensions with the H.264 profile. And let's see our file size. It's 764 MB. And we'll compare that to the file size of our GPU rendered video. This is the rendering parameters that I extracted from that blog post that we talked about earlier. So they had given some parameters for Nvidia, if you have an Nvidia graphics card, you're using what you call NVENC. You have some parameters for H.264 constant bitrate. And this is these are the parameters over here. I'm not going to go over the difference between H.264 versus H.265. I'm also not going to go over the difference in the advantages, disadvantages between constant bitrate and variable bitrate. So that's up to you to experiment what works best for you. There are some differences in quality and file size. What has worked best for me is Nvidia NVENC H.265 with a constant bitrate. And I've been using this highlighted parameter here to actually export out the latest videos that I've been doing. And it's been much better. It's been much faster. The file size is a little bit bigger. We'll see here in a second. But generally speaking, the quality is also pretty good. Now, if you have an Intel graphics card, what you would use is the VAAPI Intel H.264. So this code over here that I've highlighted. And if you have an AMD graphics card, you would use this one over here. Because I'm running an Nvidia GTX 1050 Ti, I am choosing to run with these parameters. Now again, I just want to make sure that you understand that this for now is experimental, so use at your own risk. If you're fine with the CPU rendering, that's fine if you're willing to wait, but if you like to experiment, then you can go ahead and use this one. So let's go ahead and set one of these parameters. So the way that you do that is we'll go to Project, Render, click on the Render Project tab. Now you wouldn't have these parameters, because these are added. So how you add a new one is you click on Add New Profile, and you can name it for whatever. I'll just put it in that group, and we can name it NVENC H.265. So the extension is MP4, that's fine. And I'm gonna give you a link to these parameters in the description in this video so that you can copy paste them yourself. So I'll just copy that. I'll erase everything here, paste. The qualities I will delete and blank out. The bit rates I will also delete and blank out. And these ones I will delete and blank out. And you press OK. So I'm not going to save this because I already have this saved. So I'm just going to press cancel, but for you, you're going to save that. I already have it saved as NVENC H.265 CBR, so constant bit rate. So you can see here, this is the code, the rendering parameters that I'm using. So that is exactly this. All right, so I've renamed my file GPU. Everything else I've kept at a default. And let's go ahead and render to file. Now, as you can see here, before we start, that my Nvidia graphics card was running at around 22% video utilization and around 30% GPU utilization. So I think what it's doing is it's running the OBS recording via my graphics card. So my graphics card is actually handling that part. But we'll switch back to the system monitor here, and we should see the CPU spin up. Let's go ahead, render that to file. And we've got the previous time here, 10 minutes 30. So we can already see that with GPU rendering, the time's already down, but we'll let this run and we'll see how we go. So we can see my CPU also spin up to about 100%, but it's actually gonna go down a little bit because it passes a lot of the instructions to the GPU, and we should see the video utilization actually increase a little bit. So let's watch and see here. So there we go. So it increased to about 46%. So it was teetering around 20. It'll go up and down. And the same thing, I'm just gonna fast forward through this. All right, so using the GPU rendering, we've actually brought down the time from 10 minutes 30 to 4 minutes and 29 seconds. So that's a pretty big improvement. So if we can cut down the rendering times by half, that's actually a really, really good result. So let's just go ahead and check what the files look like over here. So this one was done with CPU. So let's look at the properties. So 764 MB. And this one should be a little bit bigger. This is the GPU one. Oh, it's actually smaller. So 571 MB. And that's because we are using H.265, which is a much superior in terms of preserving quality and minimizing the file size, superior to H.264. But I'm not going to get into that discussion. That's up to you to figure out and try to test for yourself whether or not it really visually makes a difference. I hope this helps you. Again, this is experimental, so use at your own risk. If it doesn't work, I don't have much input as far as what I've already discussed in helping you. But if it does work, you let me know. Write it in the comments. And I think the developers are doing some testing with this. And if it works on a majority of the systems, they're going to put it as a default in the versions to come. Anyway, if you like the content, if you like the channel, I would appreciate a like, click on subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.